Hey, how you doing? I'm going to try and make a short video today as if to spare you from all of the excessive videos that you're probably going through and lectures. And this is a quick reminder that if you're feeling stressed out, it's part of the whole pandemic and chaos that's going on right now. It's reduced our resilience. So take a step outside and smell the air and look at the blue sky if you can. It'll help. Hug a friend. Go get that egregiously large meal at Crown Burger, whatever. It's okay. So today, I want to give you one of the most powerful tools that the campus has to offer and has been part of that fundamental shift in this big research boom in the last 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. The measurement of impact is that thing. And with databases and computers and the internet, it has revolutionized how researchers can communicate their findings, but also measure how important those findings and publications are. So we're going to look at that. Another thing, we're going to look at what is a meme. A meme, if you think of that as like something you'd see on Reddit or something you'd show up in your social media, it's usually something funny where somebody's giving you like a really, really brief message and there's an image. We're going to study how memes can be used to communicate ideas fundamentally. And here we have a definition for a meme that I'll hopefully give you a short version. And then lastly, we're going to discuss how impact and in the importance of something culturally or to a community or to an entire society is shared in that medium. So we have like a meme, which is kind of like everyone can access this. We have scholarship, which is really hard and deep. And then there's journalism, which is kind of a bridge between the three. So in a way, there's kind of like communication of values and beliefs between communities and knowledge bases and all of that. That's what we're doing today. But for your final project, a lot of what we do today will be applicable and easy to access. So you can build up the strength of your presentation. Okay, so the first one, what's a meme? A meme, when I think of a meme, I think of Fry from Futurama saying, "Take my money." If you've never seen that meme, that won't make any sense. But when you look at the idea of a meme, it goes into culture and communities. So think of like your discipline, whether you're in engineering or social sciences or humanities. Each of those disciplines, or even like a college or a classroom, has its own kind of set of values and beliefs, ways of communicating. There's words that are understood that's not understood outside of that. A meme overly simplifies and encapsulates some of those things and makes communication really easy. So you can see from the definition from Wikipedia, it can be, it's an idea, but it can also be like a behavior or a style. So like a hand gesture, or it can be like a symbol on a t-shirt, bumper sticker on a car. We've done a lot of that with the political season that just is going on right now, but the one that passed for the presidential election. So it's oversimplified ideas. And it doesn't have to be funny. In fact, the one that we're going to make for me today for the library class is not going to be a funny one. So don't shoot for funny. But it's something where you can spread from person to person really easy, and it typically carries symbolic meaning. So it's all of that and more. I'll let you read the definitions, but the key thing for a meme is its communication. It's not entertainment. It's not funny. It doesn't have to be, by the way. So don't try and make it funny. But we'll get into the meme as we go. Let me show you what impact is. This is the fun one. In the library databases and Google Scholar, you can see some things that cite each other in the reference list. But in the old days, before databases and internet, it was really difficult to assemble that. You'd have these big books that would have cross indexes of things. These days, there's two databases, Web of Science and Scopus, that do this really well. So I'm going to go to Scopus. This is what your assignment will be. Oh, by the way, here's your assignment. We'll go to PAIS next. But we have to find one scholarly source on the topic of your presentation, hopefully, from database that is cited at least once. What does that mean? So we'll systematically go through and do the assignment. So here's Scopus. And I'm going to focus on clean water. Whatever your technology is, maybe mine's desalinization, or it could be whatever. We'll start with clean water. Scopus, if you can imagine all of the journals published on all of the disciplines, there's tens of thousands of journals. If you can imagine the best ones, the ones that are most highly regarded, the ones that have the biggest circulation, there's probably several different criteria for what allows a journal to bubble up to the top of esteem. So, for example, if I could publish to Science or the Journal of the American Medical Association, those are way up at the top. And those all, for all the disciplines, Scopus and Web of Science, represent only the top journals. In fact, journals apply to be indexed in these databases. So if you search for something, you know just by the merit of it showing up in Scopus that it's going to be more important than kind of the run-of-the-mill journal, or that's hard to describe, but think about it in terms of like most popular. So if I do a search, clean water and technology, I don't know what the idea is going to be, but if I do a search for that, I could also split it up by adding a search field. Break up my concepts, technology or desalinize. I don't know if I spelled that right. I probably didn't. Oh, there's a Z. Each concept could be a new field. So I could pick India. For this assignment, you're not required to. India or Middle East or California. Yeah, I know California's got desalinization plants. So each concept get its own line. Multiple words get those quote marks. And if I don't know where I want a concept to fall in a keyword, I can put synonyms and just separate them with or. This is something we did in the last class, I think. But you see each one is separated by an and. That's where the and shows up. Okay, what's the most important article? How could we argue what the most important article is? Do you see this number cited by? And there's one right over here that says 1. Computational studies on airflow, which has nothing to do with my clean water. But here's war on wastewater management, microbes. How do I know what the most important one is? This is the key right here. It's one criteria, one factor. The number of times that something is cited. So if I go in and I see engineered nanomaterials for water, I don't know if this is a good article or not. But if I go over here and I see that this has been cited 67 times, and you can click on this as well, that means that these scholarly articles indexed in Scopus could not exist unless they cited this one and the research that they found. That's impact. That's a quantified number that allows you to determine things like whether somebody's going to get tenure, whether you get a job, whether you get a Nobel Prize, whether you get streets named after you. Mario Capecchi, for example, who does have a street named after him, has 30,000 plus citations. That means 30,000 scholarly articles couldn't exist without your research. That's why you get Nobel Prizes and things like that. So the first thing that we're going to do, on my second one, find something that's cited at least once. When we're going to make our meme, we want to find something. Oh, here's something in India. You don't have to find something in India for today. We're just looking at a technology and how we're dealing with waste. Well, let's go with this. Arsenic remediation. So if you have arsenic in your water, that's bad for your brain. People tend to get brain damage or they die from arsenic. So how do we get that out of there? We don't need to know this for today. All we need to do is find an article that talks about the things that we're interested in, and we're going to make a meme that presents 3 different things that talk about the problem, and we're assembling them together. That'll make more sense in just a minute. But when you're going into the abstract, when we're communicating ideas, we don't have to show all of the data and we don't have to show all of our references and all of that long article. We can cite it and then tell people, if you want more information, go and find that article. So let's grab some information. In the abstract, they'll be making points. Here it talks about many of the things that are used to work on arsenic in water. They fail, and they give the reasons why. If you wanted all that background information, then you could go into the article. But all we're grabbing is like it's like we're picking chocolate chips out of a cookie. You don't have to eat the whole cookie. We just want these individual chocolate chips. Okay, the next thing that we have to do is we have to find something from a public policy journal, PAIS. So I'm going to open up a new tab. So I've got this one. Go to the library homepage. So Scopus allows you to look at impact. The database called PAIS allows you to look at how people are working in governments all over the world. So this is a database of public policy. So the impact of something in world politics is if you can get a government to adopt it. So let's try clean water. Oh, what's that search that I did? I want to do clean water and technology and desalinize. I'll spell it right this time. You could also go into advanced search and break it out into the concepts. This is the same way of searching for it. Okay. What do we got? Food and water security, emerging trends, reasons and remedies. Oh, this was published in 2012 though, so it's not necessarily. Oh, water stress and scarcity. Oh, cool. When I didn't put the countries in there, all of a sudden I have something from places that I hadn't considered before that have a problem with this. So it's okay to bring in technology from other places. So let's look at the abstract. Water scarcity. Oh, cool. So all of a sudden there's a technology that pops up. I'm not even an engineering database. And here we have wind-powered reverse osmosis desalination tech offers a viable alternative to augment the current domestic water supply. I don't need to know more than that because I'm pulling the chocolate chip out of the cookie. I don't have to give you all the context. I'm just giving you that one strong point that the article's backing up. Isn't that cool? It feels like we're cheating, but we're not. We're assembling our sources, and then we're going to give the context in our presentation, right? So the third thing that we're going to put together, we have to have an image. So from the journalistic world, there's something called the Associated Press, and they have a database of images that's open to the public. They have watermarks on them, but that'll be okay for today. So if you Google AP Images, so if you go to the scientific world, or the scholarly world rather, because it includes non-science degrees, non-STEM degrees, social sciences and humanities, that talks about what has the greatest impact in those scholarly fields, academia. If you go to PAIS, that looks at like what has the impact in practical adoption by governments. If you go to the Associated Press, this is an organization, not a union, but kind of like an organization where journalists from all over the world can submit articles and photographs of things that are happening, things that are important, and just by their merit of showing up here under a keyword, they would be regarded as important. Because if you go to Instagram and type in desalination and clean water, anybody can post to Instagram, right? But on this one, there are editors represented, and they're going to skim out the stuff that is not relevant. Although when they first put this database together, they were not very good at editing, and there were some terrible pictures, but they've gotten better. What happened in this one is it might not have been called clean water. They might have just looked at a desalination plant. So beware, we're talking with journalists here, and they might not be looking at problems and solutions. They might be just sticking single keywords on there or concepts. So you can't use as many with these. So here we have somebody pointing at a potential desalinization plant. Here we have some politician. Let's try clean water. That one might not conceptually show up as the way that you think about it. It might be people who are protesting. It might be efforts. Thailand is a leader. There might be examples of water. You could look up problems. But the simpler the better in journalistic ideas. So I love this one. This is protesters wearing a fish head for that climate country summit. Let's use that one. It's a bloody fish head even, but at least it's wearing a tie. So that's a meme unto itself, right? So there's like a business suit, there's a dead fish, there's a lot of symbolism in this one. A meme doesn't have to be verbal or written out, but we're going to make a meme out of the 2 points from our abstracts and the image. How do we do that? Have fun with this. The main point is for you to realize that you can get into impact and swim around, as it were, in all of these different things. So if you look at meme generator, there's several you can look at. I'll show you the one that's just like image flip. So first I'll start with my image. If I right click or control click on it, I can copy the image and then go to my meme generator, upload new template, and then I can just paste the image in right here, Command V or Control V. It's just a miracle that you can do this so easy, which probably explains why there's so many memes out there. Okay, so I've got my image, and then I've got some text that I can put in, and I've got some text that I can put in. But what is happening here? All of a sudden, I have something like an annotated bibliography, and I'm incorporating an image that you and I know what's going on, but other people might not. But there's like clearly is like a dead fish icon. And then all of a sudden you go up here and you hear one voice talking, and we know that it's an authoritative voice. In memes, generally they aren't necessarily, but in your presentation you will. You'll cite things. But here they're talking about arsenic remediation. We're like, oh my gosh, this dead fish died of arsenic poisoning. And all of a sudden these things start sticking together, and it turns into a narrative that takes your reader from one article point to another article point, and there's an image in there, and all of a sudden all of that meaning and communication is transferred, right? And so, oh, that's actually pretty cool. I started out with a problem with a graphic image, and then I go into a solution. That's pretty cool. When you click on Generate Meme, this is what you're going to be handing in. And you can just copy and paste that into the assignment. And then the last thing that you have to do, tragically, because if you do find something cool for this and you don't have an APA citation or a correct citation, whatever your style, you're going to get in trouble. So I'm going to make you grab the APA citation for these. So the last thing that it says is include APA citations. For 1 point of extra credit, you can cite the image. So all you have to reliably cite is your 2 quotes. In PAIS, there's a citation manager. Where is it? Right here. So if you click cite, it'll give you something that's pretty good. Beware, there's capitalization issues. Like this one, South Africa should be capitalized. Tragically for Scopus, there is not a citation generator. I apologize for that. What you can do is go to the library catalog and search for this whole mess in quotes. And it should point you to, here's the article right here. And there is a citation generator. in the library catalog. Let's see how this one turns out. So it's not that big of a pain. You just have to be careful for the cap. So let's look at APA. Do they do it correctly? No. Oh, they do. Does arsenic need to be capitalized? I need an engineering or chemistry person here. It looks like they've got that one correct. Okay? When you are looking at all of these things, please consider that you're going to be working on this for your assignment, for your team project, and consider double dipping and working on the things that are important to your project and getting that work done. And having the meme done on the outside is an exercise on how things can be assembled together. So that's, I think, the main point of that. And let me know if you have any questions. I haven't been able to grade library assignment number 2 yet, but if you have questions on anything, let me know and I'm happy to help.